Welcome to the Strength for the Day podcast, which is a daily Bible study with Dennis Fountain. We hope this time together will be challenging, sharpening, uplifting, encouraging, and strengthening to your Christian walk. Thank you for joining us, and we pray you are helped through today's study. Hey, good morning, and welcome to Strength for the Day as we continue our study going through the life of Jesus. We're in the last few days of his earthly life and ministry before he would be crucified and risen again for us and for our salvation. And so we're coming today to a continued thought or conversation, moment, not conversation, but a continued moment with Jesus as of course, on the Wednesday before Jesus would be crucified on Friday, Jesus would be in Bethany. He was at the house of a man by the name of Simon. A woman washed or anointed Jesus with oil there, and we looked at that yesterday. We saw Judas betraying or being convinced and paid to betray Jesus, and so from then on, he looked for opportunity to betray Christ. And we come today to John chapter number 12 and verse 20 all the way down through verse number 50. And it says in this passage, it's helping us understand really Jesus, he's speaking about his crucifixion and resurrection. He's talking about the coming couple of days. And then he gives his challenge to his followers in this moment. And so John chapter 12, beginning in verse number 20, we read this. Now there were certain Greeks among those who came up to worship at the feast. Then they came to Philip, who was from Bethsaida of Galilee, and asked him, saying, Sir, we wish to see Jesus. Philip came and told Andrew, and in turn Andrew and Philip told Jesus. But Jesus answered them, saying, The hour has come that the Son of Man should be glorified. Most assuredly, I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it provides much grain. He who loves his life will lose it, and he who hates his life in this world will keep it for eternal life. If anyone serves me, let him follow me, and where I am, there my servant will be also. If anyone serves me, him my Father will honor. Now my soul is troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour, but for this purpose I came to this hour. Father, glorify your name. Then a voice came from heaven saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again. Therefore the people who stood by and heard it said that it thundered. Others said, an angel has spoken to him. And Jesus answered and said, This voice did not come because of me, but for your sake. Now is the judgment of this world. Now the ruler of this world will be cast out, and I, if I am lifted up from the earth, will draw all peoples to myself. This he said, signifying by what death he would die. So very quickly, Jesus is being approached by some people who are desiring to see him and hear from him. And no doubt, many believe they were just coming looking for a sign, looking for affirmation that he's the Messiah. And it's at this point that Jesus once again reiterates to his followers, the time of my departure has come. The time of my death has come. If a grain of wheat stays and never is planted, then it can't bear fruit. And if I don't die, then people can't be saved. And then, of course, Jesus, with a heart of humility before God the Father, prays for the Father's name to be glorified. And the voice comes from heaven that it has been glorified and will be glorified again. And Jesus said these words, If I am lifted up from the earth, will draw all people to myself. The idea Jesus is helping us understand, that statement is connected with Moses lifting up the serpent in the wilderness. And as Moses lifted up the serpent and people looked and were saved, even so Jesus would be lifted up on the cross and people would be able to be saved because of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. It's almost prophetic what Jesus is doing as he is speaking of the coming crucifixion. If I don't die, then people cannot
receive salvation. They cannot be saved. I must die. It has been prophesied. And so those who were saved before Jesus' death were looking forward, trusting in the prophecy. And those who are saved after the death of Jesus are looking back at prophecy fulfilled. The story continues. Jesus said this, or the people answered him, and they said, "We have heard from the law that Christ remains forever. How can you say then that the Son of Man must be lifted up or must be crucified? Who is this Son of Man?" The people were getting it. He is speaking that the Messiah must be put to death, but Messiah is supposed to live forever. Verse 35, "Then Jesus said to them, 'A little while, and the light is with you. While you walk, you have light, lest darkness overtake you. He who walks in darkness does not know where he is going. While you have the light, believe in the light, that you may believe or become sons of light.' And these things Jesus spoke and departed and was hidden from them." The simple thought here is Jesus is basically helping them understand, you've had time to receive me. Who is the Son of Man? Who is the Messiah? And Jesus is like, the light has been with you. You have known. For the last 3.5 years, I have been teaching and preaching and working these miracles to prove to you that I am the Christ. And if you're not going to receive me by now, Jesus is, I don't know what's going to convince you of this. Verse number 37. "But although he had done so many signs before them, they did not believe in him." Turn the page, sorry. That the word of Isaiah the prophet would be fulfilled, which he spoke, "Lord, who has believed our report, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed?" Therefore they could not believe, because Isaiah said again, "He has blinded their eyes and hardened their hearts, lest they should see with their eyes, lest they should understand with their hearts and turn, so that I should heal them." These things Isaiah said when he saw his glory, God's glory, and spoke of them. And so Jesus, again, we just said that he is prophesying, you haven't received me yet. Why would you do it if I did another sign? Now Jesus in this moment, I believe, turns and while he is speaking to the general public that are around him, I believe, based upon the context, that it's a thought specifically for his followers. Verse 42, "Nevertheless, even among the rulers, many believed in him because I cannot read this morning. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. "Nevertheless, even among the rulers, many believed in him. But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue. For they loved the praise of men more than the praise of God. Then Jesus cried out and said, 'He who believes in me, believes not in me, but in him who sent me. And he who sees me, sees him who sent me. I have come as a light into the world, that whoever believes in me should not abide in darkness. And if anyone hears my words and does not believe, I do not judge him, for I did not come to judge the world, but to save the world. He who rejects me and does not receive my words has that which judges him. The word that I have spoken will judge him in the last day. For I have not spoken on my own authority, but the Father who sent me gave me a command, what I should say and what I should speak. And I know that his command is everlasting. Therefore, whatever I speak, just as the Father has told me, so I speak." Now again, this is to everybody that is there. I think there's a specific application that could be made to the apostles or to the followers that we'll see in just a minute. But the idea that Jesus is getting at is the light, he is the light, has come. And the light has been shown to you. And God is the one who brought the light of Jesus. So God became flesh, John 1:14 tells us. So Jesus is God in the flesh. And so this is Jesus saying, I have come as the light of this world, and yet you have chosen to ignore me and to push me away. But I want you to catch what he said in verse number 50. He said, I know that his command is everlasting life. Therefore, whatever I speak, just as the Father has told me, so I speak. Man, Jesus is giving this thought. God has sent me here. I am here to redeem you on behalf of God, and I have followed and obeyed the will of God. Now, I said just a second ago that the context is, I believe, said to the apostles. Let me rephrase all of that, okay? The context, Jesus is speaking to all of these who are not believing in him, and the apostles, the followers, are there. But I think there's a great application for us as followers of Jesus from this passage. And very quickly, it's this. Jesus humbled himself and willingly followed God's plan for his life, even though, humanly speaking, remember, we'll see this in a few episodes, Jesus would pray, Lord, would you let this cup pass from me? Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. We continually see the submissive heart of Jesus toward God the Father. The challenge for us is this, some days our plans don't align with God's plans. Some days our day doesn't go the way we think it should go, but it might be going the way God thinks it should go. My challenge to you, or my question to you, is we see Jesus in this simple thought, verse number 50, hey, what God commanded me, that's what I spoke. I wonder if we could say that. With what God has commanded me today, I have lived, I have spoken. When God encourages me to talk to somebody about him, I do it. When God encourages me to give or serve, when God encourages me to apologize to my spouse for how I treated them or my kids, when God does that, I immediately obey. May God help us to have a heart that obeys the mind of God and the direction of God every time God speaks to us. Hope that'd be a help to you. We'll pick up our study tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you then. Have a good day.